Right, welcome back to the program. You're watching Safiya Breakfast Show on TV Go. There's a quick reminder, you can join the program on the go if you want to, because we are live on YouTube. Visit www.youtube.com/GoTelTV. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any of the interesting conversations we are having today, and as we always do. Right, let's get right into the thick of the conversation. As promised, we are going to take a quick look at security here in Adamawa State, especially from the point of view of the Adamawa State Police Command. It has been largely responsible for the successes recorded over the past 3 or so years with regards to curtailing the excesses security-wise, as well as addressing some of those gaps that exist within our security architecture. But as you can imagine, Nigerians are constantly asking for more security because there are some loopholes that remain open and that are being exploited by some of these criminal elements. So it is the duty of the police, I mean, that is the very essence of its own creation, to ensure and enforce law and order. And of course, there are certain people in certain positions within the hierarchy, within the chain of command, that are saddled with the responsibility of seeing the attainment of some of these objectives. And across the 36 states of the Federation, you each have a police commissioner whose job is to make sure that everything is going according to plan, that law and order is being upheld and enforced. Well, the boss here in Adamawa State is Mr. Sikiru Kayode Akonde, joining us this morning to give us a good inside view of his momentum towards ensuring the enforcement of law and order here in Adamawa State, and what his leadership style is going to look like as far as delivering the objectives are concerned. Good morning to you, sir, and thank you so much for coming on the program. It's good to see you.
Good morning. Good to see you too, my brother.
Yes, a very good morning to you. I must say, I don't know whether it's a generational shift, but you know, the outlook recently of police officers in Nigeria is just really enticing. I mean, the smartness, the sharpness of the look is just
changed.
Is this a PR thing where all these police officers now are looking so sharp and so smart? Makes me want to be a police officer all over again.
Yes. You see,
how you wish.
Yeah.
Some of us that we are in police now, it is what we saw that we delve into. Like I used to tell a story. I made up my mind to be a policeman when I was just about 7 years old. And what was it? I had the opportunity of seeing a commissioner of police visit police. And the commissioner of police then was F.H.E. Brisby. He was commissioner of police Western Region. He came visiting
long time ago.
Ondo Province. The regale that he brought forth was so entrancing. And I told my father, I said, sir,
want to be like this man?
Whatever this man is doing, I want to do it. He said, no, it's torturous, it's this. I said, whatever it is, I'll brace through it and I'll do it. And since then, I've made up my mind, anything that is going to take me to that stage is what I'm going to work on. And luckily for me, I'm a son of a police officer. My father retired as a commissioner of police. I've lived all my life with seasoned police officers. In fact, my main benefactor is from here. Late Alhaji Gambo Jimeta.
I was about to say that.
I pray.
I was just about to say that.
I pray God Almighty to continue to forgive him all his sins and grant him Al-Jannah. That was the man who in 1990 said, Sikiru, you are going to be a policeman. He was my father's boss. And when I decided, it is time for me to be a policeman, I walked up to him and he said, take one of my slots. When you enter, remember where you are coming from. And since then, I've lived, I've served with that thing at the back of my mind that look, there are people who are responsible for making me who I am.
So you're grounded with the art of policing, naturally.
Do you feel like within the service there are a lot of people, who share this? Because I mean, I grew up with a lot of police, children, right? And it's almost instinctive that they want to become police officers, and more often than not, most of them end up becoming police officers. But do you think in understanding the tradition, in understanding the idea and the philosophy of what it means to be a policeman, do you think that is lost in a way? Because that the strong connection you have with your father's job, the idea of being a police officer, obviously means a lot to you right now. Do you feel like being a police officer resonates with some of the young police officers within the system right now who you're talking to? Do you think that they understand what it means to be a police officer?
To a great extent, yes. Nigerian police is being vilified in most times, because the general public really don't understand what it is to be a policeman and what are the rules and regulations guiding a policeman. Let me give you a scenario. Your phone is stolen. It is just 3 of us. You have concluded that it's the one who took it. And I'm there to make sure that I get this phone from you. No physical evidence that the phone is in his possession. You want me to do everything to beat him to get the phone. If I'm being civil with him, boy, it's just 3 of us. You are not doing your work. If I slap him, his relations are going to say, is that your job? So those are the things that are making people feel police are not doing well. And in Nigeria today, everything comes to naira and kobo. All our focus is on how much you have.
And do you think the public are being unfair when on social media, some police officers, some bad eggs who are very unethical are caught collecting bribes, and then there's that there's that feeling of trying to generalize and say, this is Nigerian police officer. Do you feel that is a misrepresentation of the generality of most police officers? Do you think most police officers have integrity and credibility that they will not be caught doing such things?
Sincerely, I've tested something. 2004, I led a team of Nigerian policemen to a United Nations operations in Liberia. The Bangladesh army were controlling a major checkpoint. But after a month of our deployment, I was called one day and said, go and take over that checkpoint. My conclusion was that these people have decided to mess me up. How will you send a mobile policeman for that matter, to a checkpoint and he will not collect? But surprisingly, after 2 weeks of our deployment, if you are leaving Monrovia and you are going out of Liberia, everybody will tell you want to stop at Nigeria checkpoint. If you are coming in, everybody want to stop at Nigeria checkpoint. So I called the boys. I said,
what's going on?
What's going on? What's the thing? No report of bribe taking, no report of harassment, no report of extortion. But people look forward to come to you. They said, Oga, when we came, for each and every one of us, we signed a bond with the UN. If you are injured, $500,000.
Right.
If you lose your life, $1 million. We are not collecting. We have bed to sleep. We have roof over our head. We have water.
The incentives
to
are there.
bath.
So-
To bath. Water to bath. Our meals are regular. At the end of the day, they still pay us allowance. But we'll die here.
So
Right, doing our work.
The general welfare, it serves as a right
The biggest motivator to do your job.
To do your job.
Right.
Which is something that is quite debatable, back home here in Nigeria.
Yeah.
That is why anytime Nigerian policemen go outside this country for service, they are always excelling.
Because you've taken away that
All those burdens. There's no societal pressure, there's no family pressure, there's nothing to make you get away from your line of duty. So we come back home. A lot of us who have had international experience, we try to resonate it. And before I lose track, let me be very sincere with you. I want to thank the good people of Adamawa State, right from the governor to the Lamido of Adamawa, to the Lamido in council, to highly public spirited individuals. When I was coming, people were telling me, Adamawa is what is this? But since I came, I've had 100% cooperation that has made Adamawa to calm. And it is still part of the thing that when you come with good heart, especially when you want to serve, God has a way of making it work.
Okay.
And the way we are bringing in all that we have to serve the people of the state. I was coming in here. The first thing I observe is that you have a large community here, but you don't have a police station.
And I think the one available here is down there in Vinicula.
Vinicula police station,
That's about 2-3 kilometers away from here. What is the response time if there is a problem? So those are some of the things that we're going to work on.
Okay. While you try to work on those things, let me chip in a little bit. Sorry to interject. There's a popular cliche which we used to refer to. We say the police is your friend. Well, how much of a friend is the police to Nigerians?
Especially in the aftermath of the NSAS saga, for instance.
Exactly.
Relationship has been soured.
How do we, make sense or give sense to this cliche that the police is your friend and you should consider it most reliable and trusted anytime there is a problem and you see the need to call the police promptly and you get a quick response?
You see, my response to this is this. Everything that we met was good.
You use the word worse.
Everything that we met was good. But along the line, we deviated. Come. A policeman is never rich, but comfortable. But if you have a police commissioner from your place and he's not flaunting affluence, you start asking questions. What type of policeman is this? Societal influence. Try to dent that cliche. Police is your friend. What is policing? Policing is the person who prevents hurt to get to you. He put his chest out to save you from any discomfort. But unfortunately, because of our personal interests, Unfortunately, because of if foreign influence into our system, because a lot of us will watch television, we watch YouTube, we watch this, and we want our police to be like this.
Yeah.
What makes a policeman to come in contact with you? It is because there is a problem. If there is no problem, there is no basis for contact. In fact, one of the things I do is, anywhere I get to, I disabuse this static nature of policing, where you can see a policeman in a particular place for several days,
hours and weeks and months. Right.
Because what it does is, the moment a policeman stays in a place, he becomes complacent. He loses focus of why he's there.
You think the alertness is not there anymore?
It's gone.
Right.
Okay.
So the only thing he does is to be seen effective. He goes out of bounds. And so those are some of the things that people see.
Yeah. So in regards to that, let's just segue into your own touch, your philosophy about policing, because I know there are so many police officers who like to be proactive in a certain way, who like to apply, psychology to their operations. There are a lot of people who want to, there's so many things that, you police officers would want to do. What is your philosophy about, or what is your philosophy for the state command right now, and how are you trying to implement your own philosophy so that you're down the hierarchy of command, they understand that this is the goal, these are the objectives, vis-a-vis the security issues here in Adamawa State?
Luckily, Nigerian Police Force has a very vibrant and forward-looking Inspector General of Police, IGP Alkali Baba Usman, FDC, MPM. You see, he has given us a template. The template is policing Nigeria, intelligence-led, that is technologically driven.
Intelligence-led, that is technologically driven. Right.
Because crime has gone out of our normal stealing pot of soup.
It's no longer traditional. It's very
gone.
sophisticated now.
So, for you to catch up, you need to move. So, what we are doing is that we are bringing in technology. There's an app that we are fine-tuning now. It is called Rescue Me. Rescue Me is an app that if you have your Android phone and you have this app on your phone, as far as your phone has a camera, if you press that phone on awkwardly, it gives us a signal back in our headquarters.
It sends a distress signal?
Yes, it's distress signal in our headquarters. And that signal, when it is sent, without you knowing, your camera comes on to view your surrounding. At the moment that camera comes on, it starts recording. Whatever is said in that environment, we are picking it.
So you basically have remote access to what is
happening. What this does for us is, we now know what type of situation you are. We now know what type of force to be deployed. And it will reduce our running helter-skelter. It will reduce our capacity to challenge situations the way it should be. Because if you have, say, 5 persons wanting to rob a house and they are carrying only 1 pistol, If you don't have a vision, the moment they fire one shot, you start thinking, oh,
everybody's armed.
Everybody's armed and everybody start running. But with this app, and we have an idea what it is. We know what type of force to send in, and they have a vision of where it is happening. One, it will help us in our quick response. Something happened this night in Numan. There was a fire outbreak. That fire outbreak will have consumed a number of stores. But immediately that thing happened. The moment the fire sparked, we had an intel. We responded by calling the fire service to move in. And that environment was cordoned off. That cordoning off stopped miscreants from coming to steal. Two, we were able to curtail the spread of the fire. And instead of about 20 shops being destroyed, only just about two and a half got. Which means if we have a better response time, we could have saved possibly every...
Which for many Nigerians, that remains a very big challenge to date. And while we look at the police to population ratio, it's something that is really disturbing in and of itself, because you have too many people, very few police officers, and we know that it takes a lot more than what you currently have right now within the workforce to be able to police Nigeria successfully. But having said that, localizing the conversation to Adamawa State here, 2 words for you: Sheila boys. And I'm very sure you've heard a great deal about them on your way here, and you during your weeks in charge of the command, you must have heard a lot more about some of the activities. Perhaps you might have even come in contact with some of these young boys as young as 12, 13. I don't know, you might have more on this one than we do. But for a lot of people, especially operating within the metropolis, Gire, Yola North, the state capital, and Yola South, their activities have become more menacing over the past few months. Usually, they are relegated to operating in the dead of night. But nowadays, it's in the mornings, in the afternoons. The governor just recently gave an executive order that is forfeiting any vehicle that has been used by them as part of a mitigation effort. As a police commissioner, give us a sense of how you're going about addressing this societal menace that is caused by the Sheila boys.
If you take proper account, you find out that in the past 1 month, activities of Sheila boys had reduced drastically. And it is not out of anything. Right information, quick response, and dealing decisively with issues. Those things had worked extremely for us. Like I said, I should thank the good people of Adamawa State. Sure. Information flow has been very, very swift and well packaged. So when we get it, we are not using static thing. We are dynamic. So the way they are changing their position, so also we are changing our position daily. You find out that maybe before now, you find only about 1 or 2 police vehicles or a police vehicle just stationed at a place. But what we have now is a convoy of vehicles moving around. The reason why we do that is to let people know that we have enough strength to counter anything. You see, Sheila boys is a creation of the society. When parents give birth and they care less about their words. I did something last week. I caught some boys, and what I did was to go and to bring their parents. The last time I said no, you have a parental responsibility. So what we did was we charged those parents to court.
We charged parents
to court, so that it will send a signal for people to be responsible for whatever they bring to this world. Two, we started mopping up exercise. The mopping up exercise we do is when we pick you, when we check you, we realize that your being a Sheila boy is not innate.
Okay.
It's not inside you.
You're not born with it.
So what we do now is to create an enabling environment by liaising with some of our NGOs. Please help us take this.
Yeah, social support for them.
Give them the necessary support that they need to turn them into a good citizen. And it has started yielding good result, because we are in consonance with IOM, Danish Refugee Commission. They are ready to they are assisting us.
And this partnership,
Yes.
this partnership, is this something that has worked somewhere else before?
You see, life is dynamic. You get to a situation, you see it, and you devise how to survive it.
Okay.
One of the ways to survive it is what we have experienced internationally. We are now bringing it home.
Okay, but there are peculiarities, isn't it? What you might experience internationally might be completely and entirely different. I know, yes, you can get pockets of similarities to what you might have back home here, but the experience, I guess, is one and the same. Is that where you're coming from?
See, everywhere in the world where you have issues like this, small children taken to criminality, it is basically one thing: bad parenthood or non-existing parenthood. So the moment you give that in whatever way, the moment you bring that in whatever way, mentorship, in any way, you give them life, you find out that you can take them easily out of, and they become more responsible.
Right.
Okay. Right. I think there's a whole lot to
there's a lot we need to unpack. No, obviously, there are so many layers and dimensions to the conversation. We're just beginning to unearth some of them. So we understand from the top boss himself of the Adamawa State Police Command, CPSK Akonde, on his vision for law enforcement here in Adamawa State, and how some of these initiatives are already kicking in and stemming the tide of crime and criminality. There's a lot more to unpack, so stay with us. We'll be back after this short timeout. Right, welcome back to the program. This is still Safiya Breakfast Show on TV Goto from our studio here in Bajabure Hills. Here's a quick reminder: watch the program on YouTube on the go if you want to. www.youtube.com/GotelTV. That's where the conversation is if you want to move out of the house and, of course, want to stay in touch with the conversation here in the studio. We have been in conversation with CPSK Akonde, the Commissioner of Police, Adamawa State. And of course, he's been giving us insight into the activities of the Nigerian police here in Adamawa State, some of the initiatives that he's been working on, his men have been putting together to address and mitigate the whole trend around crime and criminality. And we'll be getting into specifics about some of the things he's doing differently and effectively to help attain some of the objectives that he has for the state. So just before the break, we've actually addressed the issue of the syllabus. And you're talking about, obviously, society taking a lot more responsibility for it, and the police wants to remind parents that at the end of the day, the best prevention, the best cure is prevention, right? If parents really take accountability and responsibility for their wards. Some of these boys as young as 13, 14 have no business using knife to stick up people and to hurt people in so many cases. But in segueing that and in trying to expand the conversation bigger about communities, talk to us about collaborations and existing partnerships that have been there for quite some time, and what you're doing to get the best out of some of these collaborations and partnerships, especially with one that is relating to the traditional institutions that are very close to the people.
Like I said at the beginning, I am enjoying a fantastic relationship with the traditional institution, because me, I'm a traditional man too, and I know that when you pay homage and you respect traditional institutions, they help you in mystical and spiritual way to douse a lot of things. The religious institution, the religious leaders too have been very, very helpful, and that's why when you hear of a lot of crises around Adamawa State, you don't hear anything there. It's because we work round the clock in the evening, in the night, to ensure that our morning is quiet. Most importantly, our two institutions, the government of the state and other security services. With the government of the state, whatever you need, they provide. With other security services, whatever happens to one, happens to all. So the police force, our strength is not enough, but we have...
There's a synergy.
Our brothers in arms are always supportive. So we take from what they have to join our own to fight whatever is challenging us. So also, if there's any challenge on them, we respond quickly. And that has improved the visibility of security agencies around the state. That has improved how we react to things. Then another group is the hunters, the local hunters.
Okay.
Out of about 12 kidnap rescues that we've made, the local hunters have played a major role in assisting us.
And as a police officer, because there are a lot of people who, because of ego, feel as if, it's my job. I mean, if you bring someone who is not a journalist and you ask him to present, I'm not sure I'm going to take it very lightly, because I feel as if he's not professional enough. But we've seen this very smooth relationship with your local hunters, vigilante groups, and the almost quick, the synergy is almost perfect. What is responsible for that success, where the police officer feels as if he's much more trained, he's much more capable of handling some of these situations, but the police is not too is not afraid to in a sense ask for help from some of these people who are much more local and much more readily available at hand?
If you're a team player, no matter how skillful you are in a team, if you don't have your support, you can't get your goals. You play in the midfield, you need an attacker to knock in the goals. No matter how smart you are dribbling around. All my life I've been a team player. So that has helped greatly in bringing everybody together, because I know a stick of broom is easily to break, but it's a bunch of broom, no matter how strong you are, you can't break it. So all my life, I've been a team player. And this, I've seen this result, the good result of being a team player. You undo yourself if you put yourself in that Golan height and you look down on people.
So, if ego is a problem.
In the moment you have ego, you have bound to fail. But if you come to the people, if you come to everybody, you see, I've created an aura around here as I came. I've created an aura. Already, your cameraman is my friend. He has that. Oh, I've seen this man. He was friendly. He can come to me at any time and say, "Oh, Oga, see what is happening." And you see, when you are down to heart, you build trust. People are truthful with you, and people are more helpful. So, those are some of the things that we brought to the table.
Yeah. And how much does recognizing the effort of your men do to help them, do more in
Moral boosters?
Yes, the act of policing. Because, for instance, I think a couple of days back, I saw how you commended the police unit in Hong after they went after some kidnapped group and they were successful in that particular operation. And what you said is for other, men to look up to the activities of these particular men that have done exceedingly well. What do you hope to achieve with that? Basically,
you see, if you're a leader, you don't have a strength without people around you. So if you want to run, you have to have a hand stretched to pull them with you. If you are running in front and you look back, there are some distance away, you stop, you look back, you say, oh boy, how now? Let's keep going. If initially they don't have your pace, they will meet up.
Adapt, definitely.
They will adapt to your thinking. So what we've been doing is, I appreciate people a lot. When you send me a message in the morning, I tell you, thank you, God bless you. You do something good, I pat you on the back. There are a lot of people who have never seen a commissioner of police hold them. Oh, how are you? How's everything? It sends messages to their head that, look, we can't afford to fail. And when you document achievement, it's more than money.
And of course, I mean, looking at your uniform, this one, I can see a lot of decorations.
Yeah,
what I mean, professionally speaking, obviously, everybody wants to reach the very, very top, right? So to some of your men looking up to you right now in this conversation and trying to understand what the future holds for them, what would you like them to take as a food for thought in their strive to climb up the ladder, and what should they understand and embody as police officers?
I've been very lucky. The luck I have is that because of what I do and the way I do them, I have a very large chunk of police officers who look up to. I want to be like him. And that has been affecting the way police officers react, or the general outlook of police officers. I told you one thing. A policeman, the moment you have it at the back of your mind, that this service is not meant for you to be rich. You know how to curtail your excesses. If you are able to curtail your excesses, you see the Nigerian police force as a window to greater things. And when you see that window, The moment your heart is clean, you get to the top.
Yeah,
Sure.
And obviously that's what we need. Very briefly, if you can, in 20 seconds.
Say something.
Yeah, to the people of Adamawa State, how do they make? Yeah.
Before he says, give a message out, I think we need to talk about one factor that strengthens policing, which is the community's involvement. For we say it's everybody's business, isn't it?
It is.
So, and you did mention some basic ingredients. You talk about trust, which is very, very key in people believing in the police force to be able to, relate to them very, very nicely and smartly and as well as wisely. How do we build a more robust, relationship between the people and the police to best manage policing in Adamawa State?
The moment you adjust, people will fall in.
Yeah.
The most important thing is justice.
All right.
Okay.
The moment you adjust and they see that this person is just, you find people queuing in.
Everybody will fall in line.
They will fall in line.
Right.
Nigeria is such a beautiful nation.
And I think that message stands through in everything. If there's justice, everybody will fall in line. Most people will fall in line. But as a final, food for thought for the people watching the program right now, how do they make, this society better by working hand in hand with the police? Very briefly, if you can.
I want to thank you for this opportunity. And I'm thanking the people too for having a belief in us. When you see something, please say it to us. Don't let us take laws into our hands. Report to us, and I am promising you on behalf of officers and men of this command that for whatever it is, we'll do justice to everybody, no matter how big they are or how small they are. Adamawa State is a sunshine state, and it will continue to be a sunshine and beautiful state. We are ready to serve, and will continue to serve you with all that we have. And be rest assured, we'll keep the low crime rate in the state at bay, so that social and economic development will ensue.
Okay.
And we wish you all the very best, CPSK Akonde. Thank you so much this morning for coming on the program. It's been a pleasure, really.
There's a lot for you to do, and we expect that with the right support, you'll be able to achieve all of that.
Amen.
Yes, and we support you in all spheres.
All spheres. I can see the support is coming in already.
And you're more than welcome to return to the breakfast show any other time.
Thank you.
Any
God
other
bless
time.
you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And we wish you all the very best alongside your men. All right, that is it. Our conversation, a very interesting and eye-opening one with the Commissioner for Police, Adamawa State Command, CPSK Akonde. That's Sikiru Kayode Akonde, in case you want to know the initials. But of course, this is what the Police Commissioner expects of the people of Adamawa State, for everything to go according to plan. We'll take a quick break, and we have a very short interview coming up ahead with regards to the PDP primaries here in Adamawa State and how it is continuing to stir a lot of reaction in the aftermath of the exercises over the weekend and yesterday. Join us after the break.